Alright, cleaning out these stick bugs is hard. I just spent the last few minutes searching through one of the old sticks, checking for babies. Like, the babies are so small and so stick-like that I don't want to be throwing away any babies. And what I found instead of babies were these big lads. So if I couldn't even see them, what chance do I have of finding babies? Anyway, I just gotta scan through this and make sure I'm not getting rid of babies. And I'll get back to you when I have the thing refreshed. You okay, brother? Brother? You okay? Oh no. Are you rest in pieces or are you just sleeping? Brother? I don't know. Why is he just like a log? Let me see if I can revive brother. If he needs some warmth. It's okay. He's alive. He moved. He's got his little legs out. If anything, he's probably annoyed at me because I woke him up out of his sleep. Poor baby. Okay, Mum, we put you back in. We put you back in with your friends. I'm so sorry for waking you up. I thought you were dead. Come on, sweetheart. Let me just put you back in with your pals. Now you got to have a nice fun spin. Yes, you do. Oh, where are you going, honey? Oh, where are you going? Help. Oh my God. Evan! It's good for them to have this wire mesh on the top that they can hold on to and hang upside down. And this is where they will shed their outside skin. Now, when I was cleaning the last one, there was one little shed from the tiniest guy. I don't know if it's still here or not. He's down here underneath. Oh my God, he's so tiny. Where do you see him? Compared to that guy, like, he's teeny. Do you see him? I don't know if you can even see the little mite. Oh, little arm waving. Okay, I'll leave you alone. I'll leave you alone. I'll leave you alone. I caught the cricket that was in there. There should not have been a cricket in there. And now that that's all cleaned and sprayed and refreshed, this is the bucket of old stuff, and I got to go through that to double check I didn't miss any. So these Indian stick insects, by the name suggests, are from India, so they are not native to Ireland. And I'm double checking over everything, and in under leaves and behind leaves. And it's one of the most valuable things I learned in the zoo. They use double doors for pretty much all of the enclosures. That you have a door to come in, and then you close that door behind you before you open the next door. And it's just a really good safety mechanism that the animals don't escape. Because for any of those animals to escape into the wild is a death sentence for the animal. Because more often than not, they will not survive and not thrive, and they will greatly suffer before they die. And the other side of it is that they will thrive and they will take over in an area where there's already natives there, and they will decimate the native population. So whether they suffer and die or they thrive, both instances are bad news. So it has to be end of life for these animals if they escape, which is why we have a double door system. So to make double sure that they do not escape for their own good and for the good of the environment that we live in. This one actually seems perfectly fine and could go back in. Okay, I might just spray this down and put it back in. There's nothing living on it, but there's still eating on that. Okay, hi. Don't know what happened to my last recording there, but basically, at the end of the day, if you're a keeper of exotic species, it is, in my opinion, it is your responsibility to make sure that exotic species does not escape into the environment around you. And that includes the feeder insects as well. When you go to the pet shop to buy the crickets or earthworms or whatever live insects to feed your herbivores, omnivores, insectivores, those lads, like the frogs, eat crickets and things. I'm not to let those crickets out either. Those crickets must be destroyed if they ever escape, because they're not from here. They do not belong in our environment. And likewise, we buy the insects to feed the wild animals that we have, because if I take worms from the wild to feed my axolotls, those worms very easily be carrying parasites and will damage and potentially kill my axolotl. And I do not want my pets to die because of me. Very basic, simple stuff, but it's really important to drive it home that I have a responsibility to not just to my own animals, but to the environment that I live in, that I don't impact the wider environment negatively with my actions and my doings or whatever. So for the stick bugs, yeah, they go from their house. There's the first check when I take out the sticks at first. That's when I get the vast majority of them, if not all of them, and place them into the house and do a count and make sure I have pretty much the same count that I had the last time, unless there might be a few more babies. And then into the bucket, and then I'll sit down with the bucket and take each piece by piece, and scan through it for any more. And if I don't see any in that scan through, the stick goes on the fire as the final defense line. That what goes into that bucket does not just get dumped outside, because there could be eggs inside some of the folded up leaves or something that I miss. And it's important that they're destroyed. It's important as responsible keepers to do that. The other thing I wanted to say, when I was breeding axolotls, I had a similar system. I'd never just pour the axolotl water straight down the drain, because that's potentially introducing eggs of axolotls, fertilized eggs, into our mains water supply. Now, whether or not they'd survive that whole system, I really highly doubt it, but it's irresponsible for me to take that risk. Same way as it's irresponsible for me as a professional keeper of exotic animals to just throw them outside and just, sure, it'll be grand. That's irresponsible. The more responsible thing is to actually think about what you're doing each step of the way and put steps in place that if this one doesn't work for whatever reason, there's a second block there anyway, that it's not going to happen. And it's really important that it doesn't happen here. And if every individual was to take a very similar approach, then it's not going to happen anywhere. If everyone just takes full responsibility for what they do themselves and their own impact on the environment. Yeah. And to all those people who believe animals belong in the wild and people shouldn't have animals and zoos shouldn't exist, I really want you to tell me where this wild is. Really want to know where's the wild. And that's untouched land, without pipelines, without offshore gas drilling or onshore gas drilling, without electricity pylons going right through the middle of it, without interruptions by human beings, because I've news for you. There's none. There's literally none. Every single animal on the Red Sea pole of like wherever they are on the endangered list. Every single one is in decline or nearly bloody extinct. And the common denominator across the board of all species, bar humans, is habitat loss because of human action. So if you really want all the animals in the world to live in the wild, stop using oil, stop using gas, stop driving around in an SUV, stop having power to your home. Do something to actively change how humans live their lives on the earth so that we can guarantee that the wild will remain wild for the wild animals. And I will absolutely get behind you 100%. And so will the vast majority of zookeepers and animal activists and animal keepers. The whole point of keeping animals and doing things like pet encounters where people get to meet the snake and hold the snake is that an encounter like that, a one-on-one, actually holding an animal as amazing as Lug or as amazing as the stickbugs, to actually hold it in your hand and feel its skin on your skin, can be so life-changing for people that they really begin to really value these creatures, that it's not just something that they see on TV that they can dismiss and forget about. It actually imprints on their brain and on their person, and they get more actively wanting to do something about the dire state of our environment, of our world, our finite world that is not built for this infinite growth model that we're living under capitalism. Wow, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get so bloody political here, but it's real. This is real. Everything is connected. Nature teaches us that everything is connected. And nothing is like infinite, except for infinity itself. I mean, there isn't an infinite supply of energy, of oil, of gas. That stuff is going to run out, and we're scrambling to try and get more and more and more out of the earth so that we can maintain the life at the level we're at. We need to stop maintaining life at the level we're at. We need to relax and go back to a much more environmentally friendly and sustainable and a fucking easier way of life, please. This is killing us, and it's killing the planet, and it's killing all the living animals on the planet. And that was 7.5 minute rant, but I mean every word of it. If you believe me or agree with me, follow me. If you don't, put something in the comments. Let's get talking. Thanks for watching.